Hi, it's Randy Smith again with another training video, and it's another very hot day, so if you hear a fan in the background, it's my computer working overtime trying to keep cool. Today's video is going to be showing you how one would go about getting hold of a signature, graphical signature, like I've got on this site. Rather than just having a printed name, a graphical signature looks far more professional. The two options of creating one are, number one, obviously the easy option is to pay a graphic designer to create one for you. Second option, which I'm showing today, is to go to a site called mylivesignature.com, mylivesignature.com, and then simply click the start button. When the page pops up, to create a new signature, there's lots of options, but we're just going to use the wizard on option 1 there. Use the signature creation wizard. Again, click, and we're taken straight to step 1. Enter our name to Randy Smith, and then click next step. And there's the next page, which is selecting the fonts. Now here they've got 10 at a time, right the way through to, well, about 120 by the look of it. So just scroll through, click each of these buttons to go to the next 10, and scroll through until you find something you're happy with. Personally, I think I quite like that bottom one, so I'm going to use font 10. Click the radio button and click on next step. And once again, that will now load up the next page and take us to step 3. And here we are on step 3, selecting the size. Again, it's your own choice. The page as it loads will display all the relevant sizes, but I can tell you now, size 5 is a good size to choose. You can always shrink it down if you need it smaller, but ideally if you can get one that's just about the right size, then it saves you all the messing about. Now the pages seem to be loading quite slowly at the moment while I'm recording, which is typical, but I would like to wait until some of these image sizes are showing, so I'll pause for a second. Okay, size 5 is now showing, so that looks about right to me, so we'll click on the next step. That will then bring up step 4, which will be selecting the colour. So step 4, select the colour and the background colour. The background colour we're going to leave white, so unless you've got coloured pages, I would suggest you leave that as white. But on the font colour, where it's all black, we're going to click in there, which opens up the colour wheel. Once that colour wheel's loaded, we'll then pick a nice blue colour. Okay, the site seems to be playing silly at the moment. Normally there's a sliding colour chart down this side where I'm pulling these arrows so you can see where you're navigating to, but nevertheless I know blue's down here, so I'll come down and click in there, and that should now change my signature to blue, and that's what we're happy with. Now we can continue on and put a slope and then go on to further download, but I'm quite happy with that, so the easy way to save that is to right click there and save image as, and then just create a file name there of my sig and save, and that saves it on the desktop. If you were to continue, you would click next step and it would move along to the slope. We don't want a slope, so we'd leave it at slope 1. Again, when the page loads, which it seems to be going very slow today, but when it loads it shows you the various angles of slope for each of these, slope 1 to 10, being straight and gradually moving right up to a complete angle. So I'm not going to wait for all that to load, I'll just click next step as I'm staying at slope number 1. And it says finished, your signature is ready, and it gives you an ID, and then you can go and say yes, I want to download the signature, and that opens up a new page. But we didn't need to go through all this because we knew we don't need a slope. We were able to just literally save the image as when it was on the page, and that is taking forever to connect again. And there it gives you the signature, and it says, as we showed you earlier, to download your signature to your computer, right click and save picture as. Right click, save image as, which is what we've already done. Save image as, and then we named it, changed their name to my sig, and save. And yes, we'll replace it, but we already had it on. So that's as simple as that is. Now that comes through as a PNG file from mylifesignature.com. mylifesignature.com comes through as a PNG file. We've got it on our desktop. Easy thing to do there if you want it in a open with Paint. If you want it in a JPEG file, we simply open it with Paint. Oh, we've got preview written on there, so we'll just do that, and then save as, and instead of saving it as a ping, we save it as a JPEG. Save, and we get rid of the PNG file, put that into our recycle bin and empty, and we now have the JPEG file giving us a signature that we can now put onto our websites. Nice blue signature at the bottom of our pages. So hope that was helpful. Thanks very much for watching. This is Randy signing off. Cheers now, bye bye.